with the mayhem, it continues this morning. Once again, severe weather threatens the country's midsection. First, damaging tornadoes, and now an enormous amount of rain.
Right now, we have dozens of counties at risk for flooding. Find out who's getting what and when right now on your Weather Today. Well, thank you so much for joining us for your Weather Today on this Friday. I'm Heather Tesh.
And I'm Marshall Cease, and here we go again. The threat of severe weather is our top story this morning.
Now, check out this video from Kearney, Nebraska, and you can see how vicious the skies look across this area. Yesterday was just an awful day for this area, along with many others, as severe weather was rumbling through. In fact, in just the month of May now, we have had 535 reports of tornadoes. And again, looking at yesterday, it was another rough day for us as we saw some significant activity coming through. So far in 2008, we have had more than 1,020 reports of tornadoes. Now, with more on what is to come today, here's Marshall.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, Heather. I mean, we just have storm report after storm report, multiple vortex tornadoes, multiple tornadoes being reported both in Kansas and Nebraska and then in Iowa this morning. This complex is moving eastward, getting some pretty heavy rain over southern Wisconsin right now, around Janesville, Beloit, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, northward to Green Bay, a line just to the west of Chicago, too. In Rockford, we've been reporting thunderstorms this morning, and this extends well over Lake Michigan, too, where there's also been some heavy rain around Benton Harbor and Muskegon, Michigan. But in Iowa is where we're under the threat for severe weather this morning. In fact, we've had tornado warnings. Two counties had tornado warnings earlier, Mahaska in Marion counties in Iowa. And that's really attributable to this line that is now warned upon for the county right around the Cedar Rapids area for Mahaska and Marion counties. Marion County under the gun right now. Very heavy rain, a lot of thunder and lightning associated with those storms too. Further to the west, we still have heavy rain falling over, in some cases, places that were heavily damaged. You have Aurora County and the Kearney area of Nebraska have been declared a state of emergency by the governor. He's going to investigate today. Large tornadoes reported in this area too. The other threat here is going to be heavy rain. But first, let me take you out into time, show you where the severe threat extends to over the next couple of days. First, Chicago today, as far south as St. Louis, and then as far east as Detroit, Michigan. Overnight tonight, as the complex moves eastward, you'll find it extending into Toledo, Columbus, Ohio, Findlay, Ohio, Defiance, southward to Dayton. Maybe not Cincinnati. It might be just a little too far to the south. But then on Saturday, we will extend that even further westward as the system pulls out of Iowa, pulls out of Missouri, and crosses Illinois. Still a threat for an isolated tornado or two. There will also be hail falling from some of these storms, and winds have been clocked this morning already to 70 miles per hour that are straight line winds not associated with thunderstorms. In Washington, D.C., you could see some strong thunderstorms developing too over the beginning of the weekend, and the Mid-Atlantic will also see some isolated severe, but a lot of heavy rain too, Heather. And some of this rain, some of the reports we're getting are just extremely extravagant in the Central Plains.
You know, they are, Marshall, and you look at some of this video here with some of the damage that we can see from flooding, and you can see why a lot of people are very concerned about what's happening across Iowa, even stretching into portions of Illinois. And that's because we continue to see some of these same systems moving, training over these areas, coming system after system. And already, of course, this morning, as Marshall was showing you, we've got a lot of wet weather coming through. Even once these morning storms die down, we're still going to be looking at heavy rain coming across these areas. Then redevelopment this afternoon with more rain pouring across Iowa and more rain continuing into Illinois. Cedar Rapids, Davenport, Rock Island, Washington, some of the areas where we are seeing the heavy rain or we're about to see some of the rain. You see some too right along the border between Missouri and also Iowa. Now already we've been looking at areas like Manchester with more than 3 inches, Ames, Iowa, more than 2 inches of rain. And we're going to continue to add to some of these totals because as we go through the day, as I said, one thing you're going to see is just sort of training over these areas where you have this sort of same storm system after storm system moving over the same same areas. Plus, we're going to see this batch move through this morning and more redevelopment of storms coming in this afternoon. So anywhere from central Iowa coming on into Illinois, areas like Champaign and Chicago, coming on into Indianapolis, South Bend toward Detroit, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and eventually the Northeast. We're going to see some areas with more than 2 inches of rain. Obviously, we've already seen amounts greater than that, Marshall, in some areas. So this will continue to be a major concern through the next, say, 36 hours or so.
Yeah, it is going to be a concern, Heather, but elsewhere around the country, we have some delightful weather in some places. In fact, in the Southwest, you can see a lot of sunshine. Unfortunately, the heat is going to build there also. And in the southeastern part of the country, partly cloudy skies, sunny skies to the south, and those storms over the Midwest. Heading to Dover, Delaware for the Best Buy 400 at the Speedway there. You're going to find some pretty nice weather on Sunday, high of 81 degrees, and all this rain should have cleared up by then.
All right, one thing we need to do is take you out a little bit farther for your weekend forecast. It's coming up. Your local on the 8s, too.
Sometimes luxury needs to howl at the moon. Find a rare grass-fed steak in a red leather booth and invite all its friends. This is 5.1 surround sound luxury. Luxury advanced. The all-new, totally redesigned Acura TSX. A new generation has arrived. Acura. Advance.
Roscoe!
Everybody takes more when they can get it. PetSmart bonus days. Look for bonus bags throughout the store. PetSmart. Be better together.
Konnichiwa. So, I've got everything ready for the big Tokyo meeting. I can go ahead and book our flights now if you like. I know you like a window, so I'm happy to take an aisle. Oh.
Everyone's looking.
Dan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're enjoying your flight to Tokyo today. The current temperature in Tokyo is 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Everybody's looking for the weekend.
We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
Let's talk internet. What should you look for?
A water skiing squirrel? Sweet Tai Chi moves?
Oh, ex-boyfriends.
Wrong, wrong, and Mr. Wrong. What you should look for is free. Where can we find that?
The Holiday Inn?
What would you say if I had showed you a picture of a coconut?
Probably say coconut, then Holiday Inn.
Must be tiring lugging around that giant brain, Mr. Dowd.
The more you stay, the more you earn. Holiday Inn.
And now, your local on the 8s.
Welcome back to your weather today. It's May 30th, a Friday. Weekend coming up. A lot of activities on this Friday, too. But rain could involve some of those or maybe hamper some of them. Heather, wouldn't that be right to say in the Northeast? Looks like a little rain tomorrow?
Yes, definitely. We're looking at a soggy Saturday across the Northeast. You'll find much better conditions on Sunday, but this is what we need to get through. We've got rain coming into places like Bangor. You'll find your high only around 58 degrees. Notice this area of low pressure around the Great Lakes, and that's going to just give us very unsettled conditions. You'll see pop-up showers and storms in New York City, in Washington, D.C. Still on Sunday, we're seeing some of that hanging around New England, although most areas from, say, Portland southward toward Boston and heading on into Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., you'll see some very nice conditions. Burlington, though, may see a pop-up shower storm, and Rochester, New York, Buffalo, some of those areas could potentially see some showers or storms developing. But again, Marshall, Saturday is definitely the worst day in the Northeast. I'll have more to at 20 after with the forecast for everybody this weekend and beyond.
Let's head to the travel destination right now with Nicole Mitchell. Find out what's going on.
Yeah, we're going to head to the airports, but then, Marshall, we're going to head to one of your old stomping grounds.
Which one?
Lake Geneva.
Which one? Lake Geneva.
You had a few
fun
stomping
place.
grounds
A lot
to
of
get
rain
into
there
trouble.
right now and some thunderstorms.
Yeah, it is going to change, though, as we get into the weekend, and it's going to be that fun time of year before long and already starting to gear up. Let's head to the airports first, as promised, and as we get out the door this day, cities like New York are going to fare fabulously for Friday. Chicago, though, different story, and Atlanta, we are delay-free. As we continue out for the rest of the day, let's take a look at a few other destination spots and where we could have some more problems. Now, Chicago, very probable we'll have delays, and we will talk to the FAA coming up in just a half hour from now, but those strong storms are going to delay us here at our second busiest airport. The Detroit, delays are possible, and that would be with thunderstorms. This is late into the day, though. And Kansas City, if we get them right over the airfield or nearby, that could be the thing that would cause us some impacts. Weather.com/airports. You can always check out those sites and see how your flight is doing or how your airport is doing in terms of delays. Now, as we continue off to those fabulous destinations, and we were talking about this one, I know Marshall used to head here in his younger days, Lake Geneva. Lots of good, let's say, sightseeing on the beach. And one of the other sites that you can pick out, they have this fabulous mail delivery system, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But as we zoom around the area, you can see the lake there. So many places to go boating or just head out in the water, lay out on the beach and just have a good time, play some volleyball, something like that. But the cool thing that is done here is that starting off in the summer months, and it's usually mid-June that this kicks off to mid-September. Look at her go. She's delivering mail. Yeah, there's actually one of the ferries out here that you can take around the lake, and they do mail handoffs, and they do this all through the summer. And this goes all through the week, because even on Sundays, yeah, you got to deliver the newspaper very quickly before the boat takes off again. And, you know, it doesn't matter if it's raining or anything else. People even pull pranks, I guess, on the mail deliveries and tie mailboxes shut and stuff to try and see if they can make them miss the boat. That doesn't sound very nice. Okay, as we head out for the month of June and July, June, the average high temperature is right around 82 degrees. July, 86, so that water feels great. The rainiest months are July and August. We're already seeing some of that rain today. And the highest recorded temperature here, 106 degrees. This was back in 1988. Well, as we continue off this direction, maybe you're heading here from Milwaukee, and as we get out, we're going to see temperatures that are going to be still that chance for showers and storms into Friday. Temperatures will stay into the 70s, and that'll linger us through the weekend. So the lakes are starting to look really nice this time of year. And then as we get into Monday and Tuesday, a little bit more in the 60s. Or maybe you're heading here from somewhere like Chicago. That's where Marshall used to come in from, because Lake Geneva is in that southern part of Wisconsin. So in from Chicago, 78 degrees, and those showers and storms we were talking about today, although the entire weekend not looking like a washout for us. Now, anytime you want to get these forecasts, find some interesting destinations or maybe some getaway ideas, you can head to weather.com. We've actually got a sports and recreation section, so if you do like some of those outdoor activities, we'll help guide you through some of the things that you might find through the summer months. And then before you head out the door, you can get the Weather Channel forecast to tell you exactly what to expect before you hit the beach or the camping or anything else. Heather, Marshall.
And that's what we used to do, Nicole, up at Lake Geneva. We used to camp out at Bigfoot Bear State Park, and then we go scuba diving at Lake Geneva, one of the clearest lakes up there in southern Wisconsin.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, it was.
Well, will you have fun this weekend? What does the weather hold? We will have your weekly planner coming up.
Another weekend of cleanup is looming, and FEMA is actively involved, and we'll show you where.
It's time carpet in the family room was not only beautiful, but durable. It's time carpet in the bedroom was more stylish. It's time carpet in every room was easier to have installed. Because right now at the Home Depot, you can buy any carpet, and installation is only $1.99. As many rooms as you want, all installed for one low price. It's time for a little wall-to-wall wow.
The Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
Mosquitoes? Don't soak yourself with a sticky wet repellent. Stay dry with Off Smooth and Dry. Its unique cornstarch formula dries on contact, so it's comfortable on your skin, unlike ordinary repellents. Feel the difference.
Wow.
With Off Family Care Smooth and Dry. Feels good on, keeps bugs off. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
And the antelope play, home, home on the range, where the deer...
Keep track of low fares to Hawaii or other places you love with email alerts from Fairwatcher Plus. Only from Travelocity. Or maybe it's low fares to Mexico. Delivered right to you with Fairwatcher Plus. Travelocity. You'll never roam alone.
If you've had a heart attack caused by a completely blocked artery, another heart attack could be lurking, waiting to strike. A heart attack caused by a clot, one that could be fatal. But Plavix helps save lives. Plavix, taken with other heart medicines, goes beyond what other heart medicines do alone to provide greater protection against heart attack or stroke and even death by helping to keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots. Ask your doctor about Plavix, protection that helps save lives.
If you have a stomach ulcer or other condition that causes bleeding, you should not use Plavix. When taking Plavix alone or with some other medicines, including aspirin, the risk of bleeding may increase. So tell me before planning surgery. And always talk to me before taking aspirin or other medicines with Plavix, especially if you've had a stroke. If you develop fever, unexplained weakness, or confusion, tell me promptly, as these may be signs of a rare but potentially life-threatening condition called TTP, which has been reported rarely, sometimes in less than 2 weeks after starting therapy. Other rare but serious side effects may occur.
Your Local on the 8s is next. Check out the latest weather preparedness products at weather.com/TV.
20 after the hour. That means it's time to take a check on our weekly planner. It's going to be a wet weekend for those of you in the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. At least half of the weekend. The other half is looking good. We have rain that'll be coming through, and that'll be affecting areas like Portland and Concord, which actually are really down on their rainfall. So we may wrap up the month with some rain that'll help these areas out. I think they've had about 10 to 20% of their typical May rainfall. We'll also see it, of course, around Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. You'll see some of that into Norfolk. Now, as we move into Sunday, you'll see more of that spreading across the deep south. So we'll be watching for that for some of the drought areas. Also Saturday, a few showers popping up across the west, more of that sliding into the interior Sunday. Some of that energy also riding into the plains, which will be our next weather maker for the midsection of the country, an area that has gotten hit time after time and week after week. And unfortunately, some of those areas, of course, hit very hard by tornadoes. As far as what we see in the deep south on Saturday, it'll be hit, or I should say Sunday, it'll be hit and miss showers and storms that'll be popping up and developing across this area. Might see some of that in Anniston, Birmingham, also in and around Atlanta. You could see some of this too in and around Myrtle Beach for those of you that are golfing in this area. Monday, more of these showers popping up across the southeast, but we also see now the system pushing into the middle of the country. Once again, Missouri, areas like Kansas City, Jefferson City, into St. Louis, you'll see some of the wet weather. Mitchell, South Dakota, into Fargo, some of these areas, Williston, picking up some showers and storms. That slides eastward as we move into Tuesday. It'll be the Great Lakes picking up some of the showers and storms. And as we look toward Alabama, maybe a few showers. Looks like a lot of that, though, will be east of Florence, Alabama. I know you have your Frontier Days going on early next week. That slides eastward as we move through Wednesday. And by the time we hit Thursday, we have another system that is pulling out of the west. Marshall?
Well, we got a heat contest going in the west, talking about El Paso, Texas, perhaps, and Phoenix, Arizona. Who's going to get hotter? Phoenix's average high this time of year is about 99 degrees, but El Paso's is more like in the mid-90s. But both of those locations will have triple-digit figures right through the beginning of the work week, indeed a little further than that, perhaps. Now, behind this system that is moving through the Ohio River Valley and the Northeast, we will see some cooler air moving in, but not all that atypically cold. It'll be actually pretty seasonable from Chicago to New York City, but very hot down along the Gulf Coast right through the middle of next week.
Well, we are hitting the road next on your weather today.
But you don't want to hit the road right now in Iowa and northern Illinois. We'll show you why.
Are you exposed to unavoidable toxins from the food, water, and air we breathe? Then you need to discover the ancient Japanese secret that promotes healthy living. Introducing Kanoki Foot Pads, an amazing discovery that naturally captures toxins your body needs to eliminate while you sleep. Look, Kanoki Foot Pads collect heavy metals, metabolic wastes, toxins, chemicals, and more, revitalizing and invigorating your body. You'll wake feeling fresh and clean. Watch, just like a tree draws energy in and toxins down its trunk, your body works the same way. Based on ancient Japanese reflexology, Kanoki's unique formula cleanses while absorbing toxins your body needs to eliminate. Use a fresh pad each night until the pad becomes lighter and lighter. You'll actually feel the difference. In fact, this independent study indicates that Kanoki pads absorb toxins. Isn't that amazing?
Each day I felt better and better. I would wake up in the morning after wearing the Kanoki foot pads the night before, feeling more rested, more relaxed, and more energized.
Since I've been using Kanoki foot pad, I have a sense of well-being that I haven't had in years. This gives me more energy. I just feel much healthier.
Kanoki also contains ions to cleanse, refresh, and enhance your overall well-being. Now on this exclusive TV offer, you can get Kanoki foot pads for only $19.99. But wait, call now and we'll double your offer. And if you ever need more, we'll send you a free supply for life. Just pay shipping and handling. We guarantee you'll see results with the foot pad the very first time you use it or your money back. So don't delay. Order Kanoki foot pads today.
To order your Kanoki foot pads for $19.99, call 1-800-889-9624. That's 1-800-889-9624. Call now. And remember, if you ever need more, we'll send you a free supply for life. Just pay shipping and handling. Cleanse and energize your body today. Call 1-800-889-9624. That's 1-800-889-9624. Call now.
It's a Friday. That means a lot of people getting ready to hit the road for the weekend.
That's right. And there's a place that I haven't been for probably 3 or 4 years, but it's one of my favorite places to travel to, and that's Arizona.
I was going to say, it must be Arizona.
And there's a lot of scenic drives on this route, so many to choose from. The one that we're picking up today is we're heading right around one of those beautiful rim drives. And as we get in and zoom in here and hit the road, what we are going to watch for is a beautiful byway that travels through dense forests of pines, firs, aspens, up to a plateau. This is a North Rim Scenic Byway, and it opens in mid-May, runs through mid-November, and July and August are the only months here which have never had some snow. So maybe that's something you're seeing too if you head out in one of the other months. On average, 11 to 13 wet days, and usually those highs are right near 80 degrees as we get into the summer months. And anytime you want to check out these drives, weather.com, there's actually a scenic drive section right in there.
All right, thanks, Nicole. Several tornadoes reported yesterday. We're going to have more on that when we come back at the bottom of the hour.
Also, we're going to be taking a look at some of the temperature changes, and eventually we'll take a check on the flooding.
This program was brought to you by Claritin Allergy Products. Live Claritin Clear.
My life's so busy, I can't afford an allergy medicine that could make me drowsy. That's why I say Claritin Clear. Claritin gives me strong, long-lasting relief from my worst allergy symptoms, like itchy eyes, sneezing, runny nose, without making me drowsy. You know that Zyrtec medicine? It warns drowsiness may occur right on the label. Did you see my gulp? I sure did. I can't chance being drowsy. I got too much to keep my eye on.
Live Claritin Clear.
Live Claritin Clear.
Hi, welcome to Progressive.com. How can I help you? Well, I haven't shopped for car insurance in a while. And you're worried that you've been paying too much, right? Yeah. So how can I know I'm getting a good deal? We can compare your Progressive Direct rate with other top companies. Wow. Seriously? Yeah. Look at the deal we just got him. That's a new pair of shoes. Yeah, or a big tricked out name tag.
Making sure you get a great deal. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
The Weather Channel you know is about to change. As always, we'll present the weather news and forecasts you've come to expect. But the Weather Channel in HD, that's different.
Good morning, you're watching.
Start the day with your weather today in HD.
Closed captioning hours on the Weather Channel brought to you by Renewin, the only supplement for joint care and energy.
Renewin, the only intensive release bilayer tablet for joint care and energy. Layer 1 works to improve joint comfort and mobility. Layer 2 helps boost your energy. Renewin, healthy joints, active lifestyle.
When weather changed history, Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on the Weather Channel. And now, your local on the 8s.
It is half past the hour as your weather today continues. I'm Heather Tesh, and thank you so much for joining us. Well, Mother Nature's fury is caught on tape, and you're looking at one of several twisters that terrorized the Midwest Thursday evening. Now, this particular one hit Beloit, Kansas. Marshall Cease joining us now. And Marshall, it is not only impressive to look at some of this video, but it's also a sight to see on radar as well.
Oh boy, it is, Heather. I tell you, we've got a special radar I want to show everybody because a reported tornado hit Jewell County and the town of Jewell in Kansas yesterday. This occurred about 9 o'clock last night. Central Daylight Time or local time. And it began here to the east of Downs. This is Mitchell County, and this is a thunderstorm on a special radar called the Gibson Ridge radar. And at the south end of this, you'd see a hook developing here. And that hook is one of those signatures that you see on Doppler radar when you get an indication from the National Weather Service when they say the possible tornado here looks like maybe rotation. And you can see the rotation here. Now it's a full circle, and that is probably the tornado, probably having touched the ground, and it is well to the southeast of Jewell, and that's the track that it's taking toward Jewell. Now, Jewell is in Kansas. It's in Jewell County. Hard hit. They're without power right now. And so this circulation, the tornado, continued to move to the northeast and just to the south of Jewell. This is at about 9:05 in the evening hours. That's when this large tornado moved through, especially the south part of the town of Jewell, where electricity is totally out right now, according to law enforcement officials, the last report that we got, and a lot of damage on the south side of the city. Tree limbs a foot in diameter down, extensive damage being reported, Heather.
And you know, Marshall, the month of May, it's known for its severe weather, and it certainly this year is living up to its reputation. In fact, this is day number 9 with at least one tornado report.
Heather, it's absolutely amazing. And this is just one day. If you were to look back over the last 7 days, you'd see over 500 reports of these. Now, here's where we are right now in the month of May. Let me get out of the way so you can see this statistic. 535 tornadoes. These are reports of tornadoes, not actual tornadoes, but after the National Weather Service goes out and assesses the damage and takes a look, and the Storm Prediction Center will reassess the numbers here. But still, an incredible amount when you figure the average is 287 tornadoes, or reports of tornadoes, in the month of May. Now, if you look overall for the year 2008, how are we doing so far? An enormous number of tornadoes being reported, 535, once again, in just the month of May. How does that put us? Well, if you look at year-to-date statistics, it puts us well over the average. January through May, generally about 778. So far, 1,021 reports of tornadoes, just as the year is beginning this year, Heather. And there's still a possibility of more.
Well, and obviously, this is not what we want to see. What is then the forecast for today?
More severe weather. Now, it should be a little more isolated in nature over the next couple of days, but right now, a line of strong thunderstorms moving across Lake Michigan. This will affect Muskegon and Traverse City. Notice its proximity to Chicago, too. It's just entered Lake County and Cook counties. That means that the early morning rush hour in Chicago, it's about 6 o'clock right now, it's really going to be a mess. It's going to be very slow, too, but no severe weather reports here. South of Cedar Rapids, bearing down on Burlington, Keokuk, Iowa, and Ottumwa and Fairfield, Iowa, you have some very heavy rain and some strong winds accompanying these storms, too. There may not be a warning, but the winds have been in excess of 60 miles per hour at times. And then further to the west toward Omaha, very heavy rain falling, and we have rain falling to the north, too, in Benton County, Iowa. Flash flooding reports. There's been some basement sewage backups, too. And boy, I remember that from the Chicago area when I was a kid growing up, cleaning out the basement all the time from flooding rains. And we expect this to move eastward. St. Louis will be in pretty good shape, but Chicago is going to be dealing with early morning thunderstorms and maybe refiring again this afternoon. And then the focus of this activity will head eastward toward the northeast, Heather.
Marshall, I remember as a kid being jealous because my neighbor had a basement that was always flooded. And I always thought, boy, it'd be so cool. It'd be like having a swimming pool down in your basement. Well, not the case when you're the parent, huh? Here we go, looking at the temperatures for today, because this is another big story. We have a ridge in place, a strong ridge in place across the south, and that is leading to some very warm air in these areas. And we've been looking at Dallas with very warm temperatures. 94 is what we're forecasting today, but that's going up close to 100 as we get into the weekend. St. Louis, 87. Atlanta, the temperature, 84 degrees. Again, very hot under this ridge. As we go into Saturday, we'll continue to see these numbers climbing. Atlanta now reaching close to 90 degrees. Washington, D.C. too. Although Saturday you could see some showers and storms, you're also going to be watching for the possibility of some very warm conditions as well. So we look for these numbers continuing to bump up as we continue through the weekend. Watch these numbers rise across Texas as we move into Sunday, and that's when we get that number close to the triple-digit heat in and around the Dallas area. Warm conditions too continue to move in across the Northeast. Watch Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. for these very warm conditions, Marshall, as we go into Saturday, Sunday too, looking nice and mild.
Thanks, Heather. Well, we want to remind you that in just 3 days, the Weather Channel is going high definition. You can still get the forecast to rely on, but now all those radars and video will be crystal clear perfection. June 2nd is the date, 7 a.m. is the time. But coming up next on Your Weather Today, storm-soaked commutes. We'll point them out.
For 25 years, I've lectured around the world, telling people how to grow a beautiful garden like mine. I'm Derek Fell. The question I'm most often asked is how to stop deer and rabbits from destroying your garden. I use Liquid Fence deer and rabbit repellent, the only one that works for me. I couldn't have a garden without it. The long-lasting, all-natural ingredients make it kid-safe and pet-friendly. Get Liquid Fence deer and rabbit repellent at your local garden center or hardware store. Liquid Fence really works.
Has it been more than 12 months since your last vacation? You may be suffering from cubicle trapetism.
But with Orbit's summer sale, you can save up to 50% off hotels.
And start your recovery today.
Tired of small portions and big prices? Introducing Long John Silver's new Monster Fish with Monster Pups basket. A monster value just $3.99. Long John Silver's. Throw boring overboard.
The Yamaha Get Out and Ride event with huge deals on Yamaha motorcycles, ATVs, and Rhino side-by-sides. So get into your Yamaha dealer, then get out and ride. Now get up to $750 customer cash on select models, plus low monthly payments on every Yamaha.
When severe weather strikes, get the Weather Channel on your cell phone or PDA. Just type weather.com into your mobile web browser for the latest radar maps and storm alerts. Now, visit weather.com for a chance to win a free BlackBerry smartphone.
And now, your local on the 8s.
This video looks like a hurricane is making landfall, but it's actually pounding winds and rain from storms over central Nebraska. It's believed that a tornado may have caused this damage, though it hasn't been confirmed. 2 gas stations and a home suffered extensive damage, and downed power lines forced the closure of Interstate 80 from Aurora to York. And welcome back to your weather today. We have a lot of concerns again today about the threat of severe weather as well as flooding. Let's turn it over to Marshall to take a check on this rain.
Yeah, Heather, that video you just showed, what you couldn't help but see is the torrential downpour that car was driving through. And that's continuing here from Cedar Rapids southward to Ottumwa, Iowa. Little town in Keokuk, Iowa here. Gosh, 30 years ago, I was there for a drag race. They had a great strip, and they have had 3/4 of an inch of rain. Doesn't sound like much, does it? But that came down in 10 minutes. Continues to rain very heavily. A lot of widespread 2 to 4 inch amounts being reported here. And this is an area that is not having any kind of a drought problem at all. In fact, what they're having is can't get out to plant the fields a problem. And with flooding in the central part of the state, moving into northwestern Illinois too, these are all flood watches. Well, that's going to continue for the day today until the system moves on through. Now, an area that could certainly use the rain is the southeast, which is heavily steeped in the drought and has been for some time. And a worsening drought now is in Texas, where we can use a lot of rain. We're at 44% of the state of Texas now. That is in a moderate drought, and that's just a D1. But if you consider this from last year, they weren't in a drought at all. So it looks like this is where it's becoming an awful lot drier.
Hey, it looks like we had some guest appearances there. John, I think you were just on the air. That's John, and he's our behind-the-scenes guy.
Senior meteorologist, yes. Boy, is he needed, especially today.
Yeah, he is. And, you know, today it's a very rough day as far as travel by car and also by air, Nicole.
John's like about this shade of red right now.
Yes, because he's going, I didn't know I was on TV. That'd be John.
And now I'm making him
He's
worse.
from Wisconsin, too.
Hi, family in Wisconsin from John. Okay, yeah,
Mom,
we're going to
catch that.
Now that we're done tormenting him, we're going to head off to the FAA this morning and see where some of the weather is causing you problems. And, you know, if you're in the Northeast, a glorious travel day, at least weather-wise, but other places are going to have the weather delays. So we're going to head now to Deborah Griffith on the phone. And Deborah, there are some storms around Chicago. Have any airlines canceled flights because of this?
No, we actually haven't got very many cancellations just yet. We are currently affecting the westbound departures, so they're being routed around that weather to the west. Although we did just go into a ground stop. We got some wind shear this morning, and I expect that we'll probably be in the ground delay program by about 7 o'clock this morning, their time, with delays averaging around 75 minutes, and that'll probably exist for the rest of the day. We might see cancellations after that program gets issued.
And then later through the day, the storms continue to head east to cities like Detroit or Cincinnati. Would we expect delays here?
No, we don't think so. Our indications are that this weather is supposed to diminish in intensity as it moves east, so we don't think we'll have really bad issues there.
And as we continue westward, San Francisco, some lower visibility, a little bit of wind this morning. Would anything cause delays here?
Yes, San Francisco has low ceilings this morning, and the ground delay program is planned for about a 9 o'clock start with 45-minute average delays. The ceilings are expected to clear by noon or 1 o'clock, so we can expect those delays to decrease this afternoon.
Okay, a little bit of good news later in the day. Thanks so much for that update, Deborah. And we'll, of course, talk to the FAA coming up again early in the morning on Monday. Now, as we continue out, we are going to see that Chicago, we've got some rain showers, and that stop is just being put into place. So you want to check ahead on your individual flight. Newark, fair skies and delay-free, and Detroit, we are also delay-free and should stay that way unless the storms get here a little earlier. Now, Minneapolis, just trying to get south with all of this. You might have a little rerouting issue with the storm south of the Twin Cities. Chicago, of course, delays are very probable through the day. And San Francisco, more that morning event we just talked about. Now, continuing out from some of our other destinations and around the country, here's a look at the nation's capital. Looks great. Temperatures are in the 60s, right around 60 this morning. And we're going to have a nice sunny day, so it should be a good one for us. Let's get out where we have a few more problems then, and this includes Kansas City. We've got a temperature of 89 degrees, the strong storms that we're going to be watching for. As we continue to head north on this stretch, we're going to see that places like Des Moines under that same threat. although the severe threat is still a little bit east of here. And then by the time we make it up to the Twin Cities, we're going to have temperatures that are going to be in the 70s and a little bit more sun by the time we get into the afternoon hours. That'll be a nice change.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right, thank you, Nicole.
Thanks, Nicole. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning in Iowa. It has been a rough night for Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa. We have new warning here for Appanoose County in south central Iowa, also eastern Wayne County. Moving east at 50. If you live in Mystic or Exline or Centerville, now it's time to take cover.
And remember that we are very concerned about flooding taking place today across this region. More on that straight ahead.
I have the greatest job in the world. I've rounded up cattle, sheep, and grandchildren. I've shown again and again why I'm a best friend and a respected colleague. I'm not a pet. I'm a member of the family. I have not, nor will I ever be, in a dog show. I've never worn a leash, just like my master.
You're out here for a reason. So are we. Tractor Supply Company. The stuff you need out here.
Tomorrow's forecast. Grab your gear, head outside, and get to work. Visit TractorSupply.com for advice and products to help get the job done.
Roscoe!
Everybody takes more when they can get it. PetSmart bonus days. Look for great deals on your pet's favorite Purina foods. PetSmart. Be better together.
Down, please.
Do you sometimes disturb others when you watch TV? Now there's Listen Up, the personal sound amplifier that lets you turn the volume up for yourself without turning the volume up for everyone else. It turns ordinary hearing into extraordinary hearing. Look, it's smaller than a credit card, yet so powerful you can hear a pin drop from across the room or listen in on a conversation from across the street.
Have you met the new neighbors? I haven't. I met him. He seems nice.
Just insert the earphones and adjust the volume. It's that easy. Listen Up is perfect for lectures, movies, shows, or even church. And it's a great way to keep an ear on the children when they're out of range.
Hey, wait for me!
Other sound amplifiers sell for up to $100, but for a limited time, you can get Listen Up direct from the manufacturer for only $14.99.
To order Listen Up, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-913-5036. Call now and get Listen Up for only $14.99. So call 1-800-913-5036.
When weather changed history, Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on the Weather Channel. And now, your local on the 8s.
Well, we are just 2 days away now from the start of the 2008 Atlantic season, hurricane season in the Atlantic.
Yeah, the big question, are you ready? Have you prepared for it? You know, if you haven't, now is the time to get the emergency kit together.
And let's send it on over to Nicole Mitchell to hear more.
And coming up starting next Monday when we bring you the tropical update at 50 past every hour, and we'll also be HD that day. But I'll have some of those preparation tips, things you can do well before a storm comes, because that's what you need to be doing this time of year. Now, as we head off to the Eastern Pacific, where the season starts on May 15th, we've already had our first storm. We were talking about this for the last couple of days, but Tropical Depression Alma here in Central America, it initially made that landfall in Nicaragua, now moving its way through Honduras, but winds are to 25 miles per hour, so this is quickly waning. Did have enough time over that water yesterday to become a stronger tropical storm. All the time, though, that we were watching this, the biggest concern with this was heavy areas of rain. So as we kind of zoom into that photo and the radar, and you can see some of this swirling, or the enhanced satellite, you can see some of these areas that are still going to get the heavy rain. There's some higher elevations through parts of Central America, and that's the concern. You get heavy rain in some of those higher elevations, and it lends to things like flash flooding, mudslides, landslides. I've only heard so far of one death out of the storm, so that is at least good news, but there had been some evacuations. So we'll keep you posted on the aftermath of all this. But right now, again, you can see even the rain starting to wane a little bit, but that is still our concern, some of those areas of heavy rain. Other than that, the storm is certainly winding down. Heather and Marshall?
Winding down, that's what we like to hear. Thank you, Nicole. Well, as we said, Sunday is the start of the hurricane season in the Atlantic, and we've got you covered.
Storm Tracker Jim Cantori will be live both Sunday and Monday with a look at what you can expect. So join us live and stay ahead of the storm.
And of course, we're also going to be here Monday with our brand new studio, so we hope you'll join in then for the second day of the season.
Now, a little global look out here. Beautiful 76 degrees on tap for Palma de Mallorca in Spain. Rain's on the way for tomorrow, though, so if you know somebody over there, hopefully they will enjoy the weather tomorrow.
Oh, Venice, beautiful city. It is looking at soggy conditions so for today and tomorrow. I've been there when it's rainy. It's so pretty. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s, and the sunshine returning by Monday morning. If you're heading there next week, might find some nice conditions.
Yeah, folks in the Midwest would like to see some sunshine. It's been gray and gloomy, and we've got storms around the Chicago area right now, too. Probably causing some delays at O'Hare. Highland Park getting hit pretty good. So is my old town of Glenview and Park Ridge and Des Plaines, Illinois, on the north side of the city. Air moving out over Lake Michigan will affect lower Michigan, too, but it looks like perhaps some of those will be weakening to the south.
Yeah, watch areas like Aurora and Glen Ellen. All of this is headed in your direction. Who's that? Oh yeah, that's me before I lost 41 pounds on Nutrisystem. See ya!
With the all-new Nutrisystem Advanced program, you can eat great and lose weight on our best weight loss program ever.
Listen, I know I'm not your average gal. I love sports. Football. How many girls could do that?
Call or go online now. Order your first 4 weeks of delicious meals and love the way you look.
I also love to eat, and that's why I love Nutrisystem.
Nutrisystem Advanced, the all-new program that lets you eat carbs, is heart healthy, and even helps fight hunger.
Believe it, I got this body eating pizza, burgers, even chocolate.
And through this special offer, you can get an extra 3 weeks of meals free.
All those diets where you're measuring a pinch of food here, a pinch of food there. Who has time for that?
Now, carbs are no longer off limits. Every perfectly portioned Nutrisystem meal is delivered right to your door. You'll feel healthier and better than ever.
And in no time, I'm back in my favorite bikini.
Plus, it's affordable. For about $10 a day, you'll enjoy 4 weeks of perfectly portioned meals. And your shipping is free.
Of course I've tried every diet. I work in Hollywood, on TV. I've tried everything, but I love Nutrisystem because it's easy and it works. It's as simple as that.
Order our auto delivery program now, and you can get an extra 21 breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and desserts. Yours all free just for starting today. That's 3 weeks of meals free.
I lost 41 pounds on the Nutrisystem program.
See how Nutrisystem can change your body, and you can get a full 3 weeks of food absolutely free. Call now to find out how.
Listen, you want real food. You want real results. Do what I did. Get Nutrisystem. And score.
Call now. 877-729-SIZE and find out how you can get 3 weeks absolutely free.
Well, things are actually in play at the French Open these days.
Yeah, we're talking about tennis, of course. When they first began, some rain kind of delayed them, but looking pretty good now.
Kind of was probably an understatement.
Right.
It was the heavens had opened up and they were having such a rough time of it. And then there was wind on top of everything. Today, the weather has been cooperating. There's just a slight chance for showers, but it's been all sunshine, except maybe if you're the one not winning your match. Temperatures as we get into the weekend then, it looks like Saturday is going to be another gorgeous day for play. Temperatures will be in the 70s there at Roland Garros, the courts that they play on, and those are clay courts. And as we head into Sunday, chance for showers or storms, a high temperature of 79 degrees. So could see a few rain delays again if those showers hold true. Now, as we get into keeping this international forecast, hopping just across the channel there to London, 69 and sunshine for today's forecast.
All right, thanks, Nicole. Still dealing with severe weather in Iowa right now, but heavy rain and thunderstorms moving through northern Illinois, too.
And with all of this heavy rain, that is going to lead to flooding. We'll have more on the severe threat, plus the flood threat coming up.
A plant is a plant is a plant. Until you've found proven winners. Easy to grow, easy to maintain. Most of all, they're beautiful. Proven Winners. Look for them in the Proven Winners brand container. Available at independent garden centers and the Home Depot.
Plant Proven Winners Diamond Frost for non-stop garden elegance.
Hi, welcome to Progressive.com.
Honey, what's all this?
Insurance?
Progressive motorcycle insurance.
Yeah.
RV insurance?
Uh-huh.
Boat insurance. But we don't have any of those things.
Well, actually, I do. We do. We do. Surprise! Let's bag these up.
Saving you money so you can buy more toys. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Food scientists have spent years with their beakers and flasks and chemistry sets trying to come up with something as good for you as Florida orange juice. But they've never come close. Start your day with almost 25% of your daily recommended fruit and vegetable servings in one 8-ounce glass. It's a miracle in every way. Florida orange juice. Healthy, pure and simple.
Tomorrow on Forecast Earth, could climate change increase the strength of hurricanes? Plus, the New Orleans levees. We'll explain how they work and what went wrong. Forecast Earth, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station.
And now, your local on the 8s.
More storms ahead as we wrap up 1 week of wild weather. From tornadoes to damaging winds and flooding, we are tracking this weekend's stormy outlook.
Plus, there has been trouble in the tropics. Tropical depression Alma is weakening, but is the threat over?
And toasty temperatures straight ahead will be 5 to 15 degrees above average this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us for your weather today. I'm Heather Tesh.
And I'm Marshall Cease, and here we go again with the threat of severe weather. Is the top story this morning, has been for the last several.
In fact, check out some of this video from Kearney, Nebraska. Kearney is one of the areas that was hit very hard with severe weather, and we're going to find that that was just one of numerous reports we had yesterday. In fact, 210 reports of severe weather, 50 of those were reports of tornadoes. And of course, looking back in time, even more, we've had 535 reports of tornado just during the month of May. So the past several days here, especially the past 7, have been very significant. Let's find out what that means for today. Will we see more of this? Here's Marshall with what's happening.
Boy, Heather, when you read reports like 8 semis blown over, debris scattered everywhere, large multiple vortexes, large multiple tornadoes reported, 80 derailed railroad cars, you know that the weather got awful. And those were reports from Kansas and Nebraska overnight. Now, some of the areas that were hard hit and some of the lines of thunderstorms have moved through the Chicago area. They're moving across Lake Michigan right now, bringing some pretty heavy rain and some rumbles of thunder from Traverse City to Muskegon, Michigan, but not really at the base yet of Lake Michigan. But Lake counties and Cook counties in the Chicago area are leading to some delays in the commute this morning. Standing out waiting for a train in a heavy rain is not fun in the Chicago area. This line of thunderstorms has prompted several warnings this morning. Had a couple of tornado warnings from Mahaska and Marion counties earlier. Right now we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is still in effect for another 15 minutes for this line that's moving through Centerville. And Centerville was hard hit with some strong thunderstorms yesterday. This expires at 7:15. It is for Wayne, portions of Wayne and Appanoose counties. Now, this is a hail-producing thunderstorm and a high wind-producing thunderstorm, too, generally moving east at the rate of about 50 miles per hour. There's also been some widespread flooding throughout much of Iowa, too, with over 2 to 4 inches of rain that has been reported in some cases, and some of those reporting as much as 3/4 of an inch of rain, like around Keokuk, Iowa, in as little as 10 minutes. Now, this expanding area includes the overnight hours for severe weather, moves into Indiana and Ohio overnight tonight, and then into northwestern Pennsylvania, places like Bradford and Erie, PA, over toward Cleveland and Akron, Canton. You may see some of this later. Right now, it is affecting Chicago westward to just to the east of Des Moines, and there is a chance later this afternoon, once again, for an isolated tornado to develop from some of these cells that develop. As it moves east, it'll bring rain to the mid-Atlantic, and then there'll be a wide area where there's a possibility of a severe thunderstorm cell developing. It'll look like a very large area, but not everyone will see severe weather, but volatility is such that it could happen almost anywhere in association with this weather system. Let's talk about the rain now, how heavy it's been and what you can expect. Here's Heather, take a look.
Well, you know, flooding is going to be of major concern, Marshall, with all this rain that is coming down. And as we look across portions of central Iowa, these are some of the areas that we are most concerned about. But, you know, you can see a few of the outskirt areas in Nebraska and even into Illinois that we could potentially see some flooding, especially if we get some of these same areas getting hit with round after round of rain. And Iowa, once again, later on this afternoon, will be seeing more storms developing and pushing across this area. We've already seen some pretty significant totals coming in as far as the rainfall. This is looking back over the past 6 hours. You notice areas like Waterloo, we've picked up more than 1.5 inches of rain. Dubuque has picked up close to around 2 inches, a little bit more starting to fall. And Omaha is one of those places where we've picked up 1.5 inches, a little more than that of rainfall. Other totals rainfalls that we look at, well, they're quite significant too. And this is looking back, though, more than 6 hours. But some of the rainfall that we have picked up since Thursday: Manchester more than 3 inches, Ames more than 2 inches, Ringsted more than 2 inches of rain. And again, today we'll watch for these areas to potentially pick up a couple inches of rain. And then some places locally could pick up significant amounts of rain, even more than that. Again, that's when you have some of the same areas just getting hit with storm after storm working into this area. Heavy downpours will be the case today. We watch Iowa. We've been seeing some of the rain in around Chicago. We'll be watching that too later on. And as we go through tonight and tomorrow, you'll see that shifting into the east. So that, of course, is a big concern. Remember now, floodwaters every year claim about 100 lives, and about 80% of those deaths, well, they're preventable. And that's because people choose to walk in some of these flooded areas or drive in some of these flooded areas. So when you see the water, remember the phrase, turn around, don't drown. Marshall?
Well, I'll tell you, there are some places in the country that you wouldn't mind being at all, but the heat is really going to be on the increase in some of these locations, too. That heat in Texas and New Mexico and Arizona is going to be in the triple-digit figures, and Pacific Northwest remain pretty seasonable, actually. Get the forecast for your weekend, too. That's going to be coming up. And then rain returns for parts of the Northeast, but it's the heat that may slow you down in parts of the South coming up. Will be soggy and will be sunny.
This Valencia orange has been left to ripen on the tree for a whole year. Its color is rich, and its flavor is exquisitely luscious. So this juice is not simply orange juice. This is pure Valencia, the best juice Tropicana has ever made.
Tropicana Pure Valencia, our most luscious juice ever.
I was there when your daughter took her first dive.
Chicken fights, cannonballs, and a storybook wedding. I've seen them all.
I'll be dependable as Old Faithful if you'll only treat my water with BioGuard. Treat your pool with soak tabs and soak sticks from BioGuard to kill bacteria, protect against scale, corrosion, and staining, and make your water soft and crystal clear all summer long.
BioGuard's programs make pool care simple.
So, I'm on this flight to Europe and I'm working on my meeting slides, and I notice that my seat has this whole control panel that lets me get into this zen-like position. And I get the remote and find that documentary everybody got to see but me because, well, all I do is work. And then I hit a button and my seat goes all the way flat. And there's a duvet. A duvet on a plane? I could so get used to this.
The new international business class, only on American. We know why you fly.
Can you have a beautiful lawn and use less water? Actually, yes, thanks to Scott's Turf Builder Water Smart formula. A lawn fed the Water Smart way grows healthier roots that use water more efficiently. So your lawn needs less, saving you thousands of gallons a year. Smart. Scott's Turf Builder. Feed the lawn. Water Smart.
When weather changed history, Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on the Weather Channel. And now, your local on the 8s.
Welcome back to your weather today.
You know, we have been keeping you updated on all, or I should say updated all morning long on some of the latest rounds of destruction that we have seen from yet another round of tornadoes.
In fact, so bad in the state of Nebraska for the areas around Aurora and Kearney. It's under now a state of emergency declared by the governor last evening. At least 60 homes damaged in Kearney.
And we are joined now on the phone by Jim Bunstock, Public Information Officer for Nebraska Emergency Management. And Jim, what is the latest on these areas this morning?
Well, the latest this morning is we're getting back out into those areas to continue the assessment. Dark came last night before that could be completed. The roads and streets in town are pretty well choked with downed limbs and so forth, so the going's pretty slow. But the sun's up now. We're working through some heavy fog, but we'll do that assessment, and homeowners are going to start their cleanup.
Jim, what's the early reports? I know we're seeing part of what occurred last night. Any surprises this morning? Does it look worse than you anticipated, or how would you describe it?
Well, this morning, again, it's still just a little bit early to tell. It looks about like it did last night. There's a lot of devastation and a lot of damage in a lot of areas. So it's scattered around the city. There are a couple of pretty heavy pockets, but there's quite a bit of damage everywhere.
You know, the video that we're seeing is just amazing of the tornadoes. So you just talked about some of the property damage. What about any loss of lives or any injuries associated with this?
The very good news is that we have no reported injuries to this point, so we're very fortunate there.
Now, we heard that 40 cars on a train were derailed. Any information on that?
Those are a coal train that was sitting to the west of Kearney. The cars were empty, but there were 40 cars that have been moved off the tracks. That's an area where we have, the Weather Service has confirmed an F2 tornado through that area.
All right, Jim, thanks a lot for that information. Boy, that speaks to the winds, doesn't it, when you can turn over 40, I don't care if they're empty or full, cars on a railroad track.
All right, and we wish you the best and all of the members of your town as you pick up the pieces, I should say, of the areas.
Well, some of this action is going to be headed to the northeast over time. Today, though, it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad a day in New York City. Let's head over to Nicole Mitchell.
Yeah, and we're going to head that direction. We'll start with the airports very quickly just to see how things are going this morning. Some of those same storms are causing problems into parts of the Midwest. So somewhere like Chicago, you're going to want to watch those delays all through the day. Now, as we continue off and take a look at the Northeast, we are headed out with John Elliott of WCBS. And a great morning to you, John. In fact, it's just a gorgeous day around New York City. So how long are those 80-degree temperatures going to stick around for us?
Well, you know, I hope people have an opportunity to savor and soak in a fabulous Friday, because as Marshall and Heather are talking about all the storms in the Midwest, our turn's coming tomorrow, but May warmth today, high pressure's in control. Flow out of the south warms us. However, the caveat along the coast, that south wind can bring in the clouds and the cool temperatures. South Shore, Long Island, and the Jersey Shore, you're a little cooler today. Tomorrow, that's our time to deal with this area low pressure, trailing cold front, enough instability. We could see possibility of a few strong thunderstorms in our area. Again, isolated pockets of heavy rain, some hail, lightning, and gusty winds.
So specifically, this storm system has had some severe weather. Do you think there's a chance for this to become more severe, John?
You know, we're in that slight risk category, and that means there's the possibility there. Better bet you'll see some showers, but all it takes is one or two like we saw earlier in the week, and I think these storms are going to be a little bit more vigorous. Saturday definitely is going to be the iffy day. Sunday, though, things calm down. And Nicole, you asked about the 80s. Look at next week. By next Thursday, could see 82. So the shorts are going to be back real soon. Have a great weekend.
Okay, looking good, John. And we'll talk to you again on Tuesday, because Monday's our big HD launch. But I guess when we see you on Tuesday, you'll be more bright and fabulous than ever in HD. See you then. Okay, now as we get off to some of our airports for today, I mentioned the problems around Chicago. That's going to be the one place persistently on our list, and even watch for some flight cancellations. And as we head off to some of our other destination locations, a lot of great places to head to this time of year. Maybe you're thinking of some of those beaches and some of the great places to go. Well, Dr. Beach just put out a list, and some of the cities like Beachwalker Beach in South Carolina, that might be somewhere you are headed off to. As we continue this direction, Hilton Head in South Carolina, temperatures will be in the 80s this weekend. Your 7-day planner, it is next.
I inhabit the nightmares of Italian loafers. I've trodden my own path. I have stepped in bull, but never talked it. I have been rehealed, resold, but never replaced. I am a stranger to polish. I have spent more time on dirt than cement.
You're out here for a reason. So are we. Tractor Supply Company. The stuff you need out here.
Tomorrow's forecast. Grab your gear, head outside, and get to work. Visit tractorsupply.com for advice and products to help get the job done.
Yoo-hoo! Progressive shoppers, safe driver's discounts are yours for the taking in aisle 3.
Safe drivers save money. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Attention Progressive shoppers, introducing new pet injury coverage. Now when Progressive covers your car, we cover your pet at no extra charge. That was a cat.
New pet injury coverage. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Watch, learn, get going. The Home Depot Project of the Week, every Saturday on Weekend View. Danny Lipford guides you through a different home improvement project.
I found that it works really well in a situation like this.
From repairs to restoration, saving energy and saving money. Improve your own home with tips from the professionals.
It's really a lot easier than you can imagine to create a space like this, and we'll show you step by step.
Check out Weekend View for the Home Depot Project of the Week, every Saturday beginning at 7 a.m. Eastern, only on the Weather Channel.
Whoa, tie yellow ribbon around the old whoa tree. I'm Tony Orlando, and I gotta be honest, I was embarrassed to get this fat. But now I've lost 103 pounds at the tender age of 63.
Introducing the all-new Nutrisystem Advanced, our healthiest, easiest weight loss program ever, including our Silver Plan, designed for older Americans.
Nutrisystem makes it easy for you to lose weight, and I never feel hungry.
Every perfectly portioned Nutrisystem meal is delivered right to your door, free.
And there's a money-back guarantee. Look, this is a 50 waist. Forget it, it's over. I'm a 34, thanks to Nutrisystem.
And it's affordable. For only about $10 a day, you can enjoy 4 weeks of silver meals. Order now and find out how you can get an extra 3 weeks of delicious meals, plus a 30-day supply of our specially formulated vitamins free.
Don't go through another day fat. You don't have to.
Call now to find out how.
And now, your local on the 8s.
It is now 20 after the hour. That means we take a check on our weekly planner and looking at some of the conditions here on Saturday as we look to what's happening in the Northeast. That's where we'll find some areas of rain coming in. Notice that's also the case in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and it is the anniversary of that big Johnstown flood that we have 119 years ago. Not going to see flooding like that tomorrow, but definitely in areas across Pennsylvania into the mid-Atlantic could be looking at some flooding, and that of course is due to the system that is now affecting the Midwest. Few showers across the western part of the country. You'll see more of that digging in and working toward the plains as we move into Sunday. Sunday, we'll also watch the southeast because we'll find our system from the north dropping down, bringing some areas of showers and storms. You'll find some of that across northern Mississippi, areas across Alabama, Anniston, also Birmingham can see some of this. Also Macon, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia picking it up, and you'll see some of that too working on into the Carolinas. Myrtle Beach is one of those places that you might be vacationing. You could run into a shower storm popping up. A little bit of that action too Monday. Notice this across Miami as well. You'll see some of these showers and storms. Middle of the country, here we go again. Another system pushing through with scattered showers and storms. We have gotten hit very hard recently, and the pattern continues for more wet weather sliding in this area, eventually working its way into the Great Lakes and eventually into the Northeast. So we've been seeing sort of a repeat performance of storm after storm coming into the middle of the country. And then as we look toward Thursday, here we go again, starting to see the signs of another system that'll eventually affect the middle of the country, Marshall.
Yeah, look at this heat. Triple-digit figures in West Texas. You're looking south of Phoenix, too, with triple-digit figures. Average high in Phoenix, about 99 degrees right now, and that's a dry heat. But in West Texas, our average high this time of year is about 94 degrees, and we'll be in the triple digits, and some areas may even hit 110. It will be hot and dry, worsening the drought situation, too, in South Texas. But the Midwest and the Northeast will see another little system move across, bringing some rain to the region, as Heather showed you, and then a little cooler air infiltrates the upper Midwest and the Northeast, too. The Pacific Northwest will be seasonably cool, let's call it, through Thursday, with highs only in the 60s.
And coming up, we are hitting the road next on Your Weather Today.
But you certainly don't want to hit the road right now. In Iowa, northern Illinois, lower Michigan, the system that spawned twisters like this one is moving through this area. We'll show you the impacts.
When you're used to always doing something with a cigarette, it can be hard doing it without one. But if you can relearn how to drive without cigarettes, then you can relearn to do anything without cigarettes. Introducing X, a new way to think about quitting.
X, relearn life without cigarettes at becomeanx.org.
Roscoe!
Everybody takes more when they can get it. PetSmart Bonus Days. Look for bonus bags throughout the store. PetSmart. Be better together.
When they're off and running, he's someone you can count on. Quaker Chewy Granola Bars. The super granola bar made with whole grain Quaker oats. Every day should be this good.
Your evil army is complete. Now, nothing can stop me from building my own Capital One credit card. Make my rewards double points and a low interest rate. And I want a picture of kittens on it. War kittens? Just like regular cute kittens. Baby cats.
Introducing Capital One Card Lab. Customize your card by choosing your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
You know that song, Time in a Bottle? Well, I got time in a bottle just by changing my allergy medicine from Claritin to Zyrtec. Zyrtec's a lot faster. It starts working 2 hours faster than Claritin, and it keeps working for 24 hours on all my allergy symptoms, indoors and out. You know, Zyrtec should put that on the label. Ingredients: 2 hours you didn't have before.
Zyrtec, the fastest 24-hour allergy relief, now without a prescription.
We're going to hit the road with Nicole Mitchell now to a place where it'd be water everywhere.
Yeah, see, that's if you're headed to the Florida Keys.
Yeah, beautiful location any time of year. And if you're headed down this route, a lot of the routes that I take you out on when we hit the roads, places you certainly have to stop off. And as we hit this stretch, great for stopping off just to check out some of those beaches, the wildlife, or maybe you're doing some snorkeling or scuba diving. So as we get you down US Route 1, anywhere from, say, Homestead down to Key West, that southernmost point, As we get into the month of October, maybe you're planning ahead. Highs are in the mid 80s, those lows are in the mid 70s, and dry days for the month are about 15 to 18. I know the month of October, they usually have Fantasy Fest and some other things that start to go on, but a nice place to head out to any time of year. Now, anytime you want to hit the road, some of your favorite destinations are going to be on weather.com under driving and traffic. You can pick either a certain route or just pick a state and then kind of go from there with some drive ideas.
Yeah, it's a good idea too. Thanks, Nicole.
Of course, driving and choosing your route is also important today because we've got rain and potential flooding coming down across the middle of the country.
We'll show you where when we come back.
This program was brought to you by Claritin Allergy Products. Live Claritin Clear.
My life's so busy, I can't afford an allergy medicine that could make me drowsy. That's why I say Claritin Clear. Claritin gives me strong, long-lasting relief from my worst allergy symptoms, like itchy eyes, sneezing, runny nose, without making me drowsy. You know that Zyrtec medicine? It warns drowsiness may occur right on the label. Did you see my goal? I sure did. I can't chance being drowsy. I got too much to keep my eye on.
Live Claritin Clear.
Live Claritin Clear.
It feels good to be in tune with your environment, to see its true beauty, experience its tranquility. What cannot be seen is often most beautiful. Phantom screens are out of sight until you need them. Their true beauty is that they are not screens. They are phantom screens. PhantomScreens.com.
Nick McMurdy chose a Carrier Infinity system because it can save him up to 56% on cooling costs. Here he explains the technology that makes it possible. So maybe Nick can't explain what makes his Carrier system the most energy-efficient heating and cooling system you can buy. Frankly, why should he? That's our job. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Epic conditions. Nature sets the boundaries. Man crosses the line. Cross the line. Saturdays at 9, only on the Weather Channel. Brought to you by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world. When weather changed history, Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on the Weather Channel. And now, your local on the 8s.